her doctoral research was the study of the Raganga Ragas in the Sapta Sampradaya Pradashini of Subbarama Dikshita. And the topic for the MPhil dissertation was the study of the Desi Ragas in the post-Ratnakara period. She is at present serving as assistant professor in the Department of Indian Music, University of Madras. She has published and presented many research papers at international conferences and also presented lecture demonstrations in organizations like the Music Academy, IIT Madras, and others. Hemlatha Garu also learned vocal from Sri V.V. Raman Garu. She has been performing for over 3 decades, accompanying many senior Vidwans in India and visited countries like US, Canada, Switzerland, Kuwait, South Africa, and many other countries. She received many awards like Vani Kala Nipuna from Sri Tyaga Brahma Dana Sabha India 2016, Kalaimamani Award from the Government of Tamil Nadu India 2015, Sangeeta Saptasagara from the Shanti Arts Foundation, and endowments in Chennai in the year 2014, Nada Oli from Nada Ingam in the year 2002, Yuvakala Bharati from Bharat Kalachar in the year 2000. Thank you. Now I hand over to the technical team to continue the program.
Good evening. We are happy to perform for speak. Good evening. We are happy to perform for Spikmake. I would like to introduce the accompanying artists for today's concert. Sri B. Ganapati Raman on the Mridangam, Sri Harihara Subramanyam on the Ghatam, Srimati Kalyani Vishwanathan on the Tambura. That was a composition of Patnam Subramanyayar, starting with the words Marivere Dikkevaru in the Raga Latangi, set to Kandachaputhadam. In that Kirtana, you heard the aspects of extemporization in Carnatic music, namely the Neraval and Kalpana Swaras were rendered in that composition. That was a composition of Shyama Sastri, Marivere Gati, in the Raga Ananda Bhairavi, set to Mr. Chaputala. The Kirtana was preceded by a brief Alapana. That was a composition of Muthuswami Dikshitar, Mara Ratipriyam, in the Raga Ratipriya, set to Aditala. The Raga Ratipriya is the 63rd Raganga Raga, which should correspond to the 63rd Melakarta, Rishabha Priya. The Raganga Ragas or the ragas followed by Muthuswami Dikshitar and his descendants, which is different from the Melakartas. That was a composition of Tyagaraja in the Raga Todi, set to Adi Talam, starting with the words Kaddanu Variki. We will be concluding the concert with a Tillana of Papanasam Shivan in the Raga Behak, set to Adi Talam.
Yeah, streaming is over. Thank you very much.
Yes, you can interact with the artist. Namaste, ma'am. Students, you can go
Namaste.
ahead.
Yeah.
Please. Nazia, ma'am. Anybody wants to ask any questions?
Ma'am, what inspired you to become such a great musician?
Okay. My father is a Ganjira artist, veteran Ganjira artist. And I have two elder sisters who sing in the name of Mambalam Sisters. Actually, I also started learning vocal. But my father felt that in a family, if you have 3 or 4 vocalists, it won't be good. And he wanted me to switch over to violin. So I switched over to violin at the age of 8. And after that, because we used to go to concerts along with our father. That's an inspiration to become an artist.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Indrani, ma'am, would you like to ask question?
Yeah, namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. Namaste.
We are very much fortunate to listen to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a great event, but today's children are not having that ear to listen to this classical thing. What influences them, we know, we do understand. But how can we bring them to the stream of listening to the classical music and appreciate it? And that becomes a difficult task as a teacher for me.
Okay. That is, if you give them the classical music as such, probably they won't be able to listen to it or something like that. But from the initial stages, it should be started at the initial stages of learning. Probably when they are 6 or 7, if you introduce them to simple songs, even not for learning, but for listening, probably bhajans and something like that. Along with, probably they might start singing initially. After that, if we give them the proper training, probably they'll have the ears. The oral sense is actually missing in today's children. I also feel the same that. But the problem is we don't give them proper insight into any of the classical form. Because children feel that classical forms are very complicated and they cannot listen to it. But even if it is a rhythm is complicated in a film song, if they repeatedly hear those songs, they are able to repeat that. How is it possible? Because of listening only. We have to make them listen. That actually, I agree with you that it's a difficult job. To make them listen itself is a difficult job, but we have to put some efforts. Probably 1 hour in a week, or in splits. Probably we can split it into 2 half an hour when you are in school in a week. But the listening session should be there.
Nazia, ma'am.
Yes, madam. Now I can unmute.
Would you like to ask a question?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you face any problems while learning music?
Yeah, of course, it's always there. That is, in the initial stages, violin is a very difficult instrument. When you learn it at a tender age, probably the the sounds produced by the violin is horrible to hear. You need, because it is not pleasing when you learn it at the beginning. There would be scratching sounds and everything, and you tend to quit it at any point of time. But to get a command over the instrument, and then if you feel that, but because to cross that barrier itself, it takes almost 5 years to get a command over that. In that 5 years, you always have a tendency to quit that. You have to overcome that, and I have felt that at any point of time during that early training years, because previously I told you that I learned vocal. Since I learned vocal at a very young age, I started learning vocal at the age of 6. And by the time when I was 8, I had some 50 songs in my repertoire. But that could not be reflected on violin. When I started learning violin, it took almost 2 to 3 years to get a command over the violin. And then when I started incorporating the songs learnt in vocal, it was very difficult. And I used to feel, why should I take up, why had I took up violin? I should have taken up vocal itself, because it is very easy. But that's not the case. When you practice more and you get a command over the instrument, which will be, as such, I have crossed those hurdles, because the fingerings also differs. When my guru taught me, they taught me to use the little finger. But I realized that my little finger is too little, too short. Anyone who can see that it is half of the ring finger. So whenever I used to use the little finger, the swaras were not clear, and I felt that I am not fit to play the violin. And suddenly one day, I myself thought why it is happening, and then it so happened that I saw my little finger, and then I changed my fingerings on my own. I used the ring finger more, and then practiced a lot to change those fingerings. Because in those ages, everyone used to say that my playing is not perfect. The swarasthanas used to be diminished or something like that. It was not perfect. So I myself thought, because I'm not fit for playing violin. But after actually looking at my fingers and change my fingerings, after that, I got some command over the instrument.
Ma'am, how many hours did you
How you
practice?
Yeah, initially you have to practice, that is, at least minimum 2 hours in a day. Probably you can split it into morning for 1 hour and evening 1 hour. And after that, instruments, you need lot of practice. At one point of time, I used to practice for 5 to 6 hours together. When I was doing my UG, because I did my UG in music itself. So I used to practice for 5 to 6 hours a day continuously. And then I used to listen to other concerts for 2 to 3 hours a day.
Ma'am, how did you improve your manodharmam?
Manodharmam, you have to actually practice a lot. That is, for instrumentalists, there is a drawback. You have to sit and practice. For vocalists, you don't have that, because whenever you walk or whenever you travel, you can put the thalam and think of some combinations. The best way to improve the manodharmam is you have to look for more combinations. Initially, the Kalpana Swaras, you have to look for more combinations. How to end that? That should be first. You have to ensure the ending. And then how many, you have to fix in some swaras in the beginning to end those notes. After that, you start doing that. But I feel that singing is very mandatory for any instrumentalist. We have to sing it because because you have the talam in your hand when you sing. So I used to do like that. You have to look for combinations. After that, you can do the alapana by doing many. That is when you get used to that fingerings and all that, you can consider practice as 40%, listening contributes 60%. Because only when you listen, you can absorb some kind of music which can be interpreted immediately on the violin or even vocal. So listening makes a great role. Listening plays an important role in your manodharma.
Anybody else wants to ask a question?
I had one question.
Yes.
Ma'am, how did you balance your studies and practicing violin?
Okay. Till 12th, actually in 12th, I took science group. In today's 11th or 12th, we tend to quit any extracurricular activities. When you go to 9, 10, 11, 12, we have the tendency to give a break to any kind of extracurricular activities, even if it is a sports or arts or anything. But I told you, my father, he is a Ganjra artist. He used to be very strict. That is, he ensures that you practice every day, despite you have a examination the other day. There is no excuse for any kind of examination or any kind of test. And you cannot even compensate by studying late in the night. Because you used to switch off the lights by 10 p.m. and so you can at the most you can wake up only by 5 or 5:30, not before that. So anything you have to plan it and you have to do that. So we had the opportunity to do the multitasking. I won't say opportunity, but we have been imposed the art of multitasking. That I should say. And after that, at one point of time, I was doing my PhD. And at that time, my first daughter was just 1.5 years old. And I had my household course and all that. And I used to finish off everything. And after my daughter sleeps in the afternoon, I used to sit for 2 or 3 hours in a day to concentrate on my PhD thesis. And invariably in the evenings, I used to have concerts. And after I come back from the concerts, and I used to sit for 4 hours in the night. Because my father did not compel me to take that sleep. He also insisted that I should complete my PhD at any cost. So that was the schedule for 1.5 years. That was the schedule. I used to sleep only for 3 to 4 hours in a day. It was actually a struggle, but if you have the art of multitasking, then it should not be a problem. In today's children, the multitasking is not there. We should actually, because there is no one to impose anything. If the parents impose, we oppose. If the teachers impose, parents oppose. Okay, this is the trend of today's education. Then who will compel you? We have to push ourselves. We should have the habit of pushing ourselves. If you look at any of the sportsmen, any of the achievers, if you ask them, they would definitely tell that you have to find your own time to balance things. Otherwise, it is not possible.
So I think there are no more questions. Okay, Neha has a question. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ma'am, what inspires you to be a great musician?
Yeah, I told you I belong to a family of musicians. And after you learn music and you get some command over that, after that, what makes you to pursue more is the one, yeah, I can say that one point is appreciation from others. And being an accompanist, when you get appreciation from the vocalist, that you grasp things very quickly. So you are under the compulsion that you have to do it more. And if you receive one award or if you receive anything, that actually it pushes you more. Nowadays we look for any appreciation from others. Not only that, we should actually have an habit of appreciating ourselves or something like that. Oh, this is a new, because all the time you practice something on the stage, you don't get the full potential of you. Unless you practice 200%, you won't get 100%. Not even any concert, we can't put in 100%. It would be 75 to 80%. So the practice makes you, that is, the error free is possible only when you practice. So the practice gives you, in some concerts, you feel that, today I have got a new sangari. Today I have got a new phrase. Today I played better. Today I had that self-realization should be there. Self-realization is the most important thing. You take it as an inspiration. And unlike the inspiration from others, because I told you, my father till date, he has not appreciated even a single concert. So you cannot expect it from the parent. So you cannot expect that. In those days when I started playing, many of them used to criticize, because in the audience itself, there were many old people and knowledgeable people who used to criticize openly. So that makes you practice more, and that makes you deliver more. Every time we feel that, so today I should not do any kind of mistake, or even if I do a mistake, it should not be visible to others. That itself is an art. I know that it's wrong, but it is not visible to others, so that my practice makes that happen.
Thank you, ma'am.
So along with the music, you are giving wonderful assistance. Children do not know that many of the children do not know that music is also a part of education.
Yeah.
Education.
That is, in music,
Without
I wanted to stress that if you learn more compositions, your retention power increases. Your memory power increases. We don't apply those concepts in the learning system. When you memorize so many things, so many compositions, it is a passive way of assimilating the other things. We don't realize it when until you see the results. Because I always say that I had a very bad memory, but when I started accompanying at a professional level, my memory power increased, and it got, the application was also on other principles of life. Even now, I'm known to be a very what do you call, memory king. Many of my friends call me a memory king, but I wonder, because I had a very bad memory in my school days. No one knows about that, but your art, that too, because in vocal, if you learn vocal, at a time you are doing three things, which we are not doing in any other art form. In music, you are actually uttering the words with raga, and you are putting the talam, and if you are singing with the accompaniments, the accompanying musicians, music is also going inside. So you are balancing 4 acts subconsciously. That itself improves your memory.
Ma'am, I
Actually,
had a
maths and
question.
yeah.
What do you
Sorry,
do
Anjali.
when you feel very down?
I sit quietly. I don't do anything. Yes, Prashant.
Somebody has to unmute him as Nadia, please unmute him.
Okay, madam. Let me check.
Prashant V. Speakmaker is giving a lot of chances for the children to listen, madam. But the unfortunate thing is adults are not realizing and the children are truly missing.
Yeah.
Madam, good evening,
That
madam.
is, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am. Madam, if anyone asked what advice to give for upcoming musicians, what will you?
Upcoming musicians. That is, true learning should be there. Without any kind of, for myself, learning for others. If I can give concerts, I get fame. If I do a YouTube concert, or if I upload my video in YouTube, that should not be the motto. Learning music for myself, that should be the first thing. And regular practice. We have heard it so much. Practice makes a man perfect. But practice. And don't worry about any kind of results. Probably it might sound like a philosophy, but that is the true thing. Because music, when you learn music for 10 years, that is, if you learn it properly with total dedication, that music is going to be there with you for lifetime. When you learn it 10 years, if you live for 60 years or 70 years, it is going to be there for 50 years. You can't expect the result at your when you start learning at 10, and you can't expect the results at the age of 20. Probably till the reaping time would be different. But if you learn it sincerely, and if you are learning properly, because the guru plays an important role, and we should have ultimate faith in our guru. Whoever you follow, you should have that ultimate faith in him or her. And then you should be true to yourself. That is the ultimate thing. These factors are more important for any upcoming musician.
Ma'am, could you please give some practice tips?
What?
Practice tips.
Practice tips. Okay, are you learning something?
Yes, ma'am, I am learning vocal.
Yeah, you are learning vocal. Okay, that is, in music, I feel that it is a continuous process. Okay, when we do first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth standard, the basics of maths does not change. Likewise, the basics of music like the Swaravalis and everything, what you learn at the beginning should be practiced every day. Sarli Varsai, Janta Varsai, Tatu Varsai, Alankaram, and any other Varisais, Hechustai Varisai. All these have to be practiced every day in the morning. And apart from that, if you are, this is the beginning level. If you have learned it at the age of, if you have learned only the Maya Malagalai, you should practice the Varisais in Maya Malagalai in 3 speeds. You have the metronome and all that. Please have a metronome and see that you are playing it or singing it in the proper speeds, because we tend to drag a little bit when you do the second speed or third speed, when you have the talam on your own. So you have the check, metronome check, where you can render it in the proper speed. That is, you have the progression of speed. And after that, if you have learnt varnams, at least sing 2 varnams in the morning. And in the after you come back from the school, you again start with playing the varnam or singing the varnam. After that, you have to make a list of how many compositions you have learned. Probably if you have learned 50 compositions, make it a practice to sing 5 compositions in a day, in the evening, so that in 10 days you will be completing the entire list. And on the 11th day, again start from, you actually you do the permutation and combination, not the other, not the same 5. Probably you can select it from 1, 7, 9, 13, 15, something like that. And you change the component. After that, you have to do the new, any composition you have learned new should be done. This should be the practice schedule, but it should be there in the morning as well as evening. Okay. And if you have learned other ragas, you can try singing the Swaravalis in other ragas you have learned, not before that.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks.
Ma'am,
Yes. Yes, Joshita.
ma'am, are you faced any adventures in this field?
Adventures while traveling. We have lot of adventures while traveling, because 10 or 15 years back we used to travel by trains. Invariably the trains would be late. Once we were traveling back from Delhi to Chennai, and the train was supposed to reach Chennai at 7 a.m. in the morning, and in the evening we had a concert. But unfortunately, the train was 12 hours late because of some accident near Agra. So when we reached Chennai, it was almost 11 hours late, and it reached at 6, and we had a concert at 6:30. We didn't have any other alternate. So what we did, in spite of being 11 hours late, we quickly changed our saris and everything in the train toilets itself, and we went straight to the concert. Likewise, we have done so many things.
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam,
I see. Yeah.
Madam, how do you plan to inspire and motivate students for music class?
Plan to inspire. That is, there are 2 categories of students in music class. That is, one has some musical background, where if they sing wrong, their parents or someone else in the house, they actually correct them. Most of them do not have this background. What I ask them is, you cannot expect anyone to be at house to correct you all the time. What we can do is, you have to record your own music and listen to that. And that is probably if I have learned one Varnam and the students are not practicing and say that I'm not getting that, how will you make them practice? Probably if we can make them sing and record it. After recording it, we can say that we can tell them that if you practice for another 5 days, you will definitely see a change on the 6th day. And when you record it on the 6th day, you will definitely see a change. When you sing it continuously for 5 days, that might be a way out. And for music students who have taken up music, because I teach at the university, most of them lack confidence because they do because most of them would have taken up at the UG level only, music at the UG level only. They feel that they are not competent enough. For them, I tell them, this makes, that is the recording of the any composition they sing. Probably at the beginning, it might be in parts, Pallavi, Anupallavi or something like that. And after that, they have to do it continuously and sing it continuously for 5 days or 10 days and record it on the 11th day. And if you listen the first recording and the second recording, there would be definitely there would be difference. And again, continuously do it and try it after 21 days. Because most of them do not have this patience. Like I said before, at the initial stage, the violin was very difficult because if in the house, people will say that it's like that. You don't play the violin properly. But you should have that conviction to practice it more. Only then you will get that perfection, not even perfection, some command over the instrument. Because perfection is possible only when you do it for very long time. But to discard those sounds itself, you need patience. So we have to cultivate patience among students, and then only we have to teach them arts. Because in science, you get the results quickly, probably in chemistry. That too, in chemistry, if you do not do the proportion correctly, you won't get the result. But since we see it visually, we accept that I have done, probably I have mixed some nitric acid more, some I have mixed sulfuric acid more. We accept that. But that's not possible in arts. So we have to cultivate that also.
Nazia ma'am, I think.
Yes, madam, Vidya madam.
We can come to the vote of thanks.
Yeah, ma'am, sure. We are humbled with your presence and fortunate to listen this soothing music that made our mind and heart float like a butterfly, madam.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we also feel very grateful to have you for igniting the ambitions in the younger minds.
Thank you, ma. Thank you.
And I would like to convey my thanks to our honorable guest, Dr. R. Hemlatha Garu, and Sri B. Ganapati Raman, Sri S. Harihara Subramanian Garu, Vidya Madam, the technical team, and our Aravindans, Sri Kar, Mary Prashanti, Leah Susanna, Charita Sri, and E. S. Ashwini, from the bottom of my heart for spending your gracious time with us. Now we can carry all these memorable, pleasant memories and we can enter into the dream world.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Special thanks to Indrani Madam and Dwarka Miss for giving this opportunity to be a part of this Speak Make. Good night and take care. Namaskar.
Thank you.
Namaskar.
Thank you.